Hello everybody, welcome to my weird and wonderful world. I wanted to make this video because just because I haven't had as much appreciation for music in my life as much as I do today. I've always loved music ever since birth, okay? And my history of music is pretty complex and intricate, and as anybody who loves music can testify, we have our memories of music and what drives us with it and what inspires us about it, what moves us, what gives us our identity. I think I always felt, you can tell a lot about a person by what music they listen to or not listen to. I still will never understand people who are not into music. It's like I can't imagine what could be in their minds that thinks that music is not important. Music, if it wasn't for music, I don't know what type of person I would be today. Yeah, okay, I had my TV shows growing up, but then again, on those TV shows like Star Trek, like the Spider-Man cartoons and all those other cool shows, music was involved. There's a soundtrack behind those episodes and TV shows and everything. The movies we love are guided by music. If you take all that music out, it would be so lifeless and boring. Music adds to it. So when I say music is the most important thing in my life, it really is. It really is. Like let's start here with how impressed I am with this. Give myself give a little tiny mini review of this, right? 10 out of 10 in my top three favorite Sparks albums. You know, it's such a I don't know, it's such a great album. I might do a separate video again talking about this. I've had it since I bought it. Okay, since I got this, I had put it in my player right after I was done posting that video. When I got this with the other stuff, right? It went into my player, and I didn't take it out. I didn't take it out for a couple of days. I played it like four times, and because I had to, because it's just so good. I play it at night in the earphones, and then again in the morning. For a couple of nights. Yeah, and yeah, I can't, I can't express how much I love this. It's really great. But yeah, when it comes to music, okay, and I'll give you an like I get great pleasure. That's why other people do get great pleasure in having other people review the things that you grew up on and the music that you like, and we like to know how other people feel about the music we relate to. I have I have joined the Patreon for Larry Graves, for his album and song reviews, and sometimes I really like giving him stuff that I know he's going to love, and I want to turn him on to some great music. But every once in a while, like my latest album request, is about time that I do this. Okay, I'm curious, just for me, my own personal curiosity. I want to know what Larry Graves will think of this. I'm not expecting him to like it. That's not the point of me giving that request. It's of course I know he's going to have fun with it and whatever he thinks of it either way. But the I gave him Bruce Hack, the Electric Lucifer. The first video I ever did officially on this channel was to promote this album. The Since birth, it was been in my family since birth. The making of this album is just as intriguing as the album itself, I find, from all the liner notes in this that I read, and it's just it's just that this is the probably was the weirdest album in my life growing up. It was the biggest mystery. It was the biggest kind of head scratcher of an album because I like it, but it's not conventional. I always felt weird about this album growing up, but I always liked it. I always kept going back and playing it and playing it and playing it. But but I always felt in my mind, I was like, I don't know that anybody else is going to like this. It's such an oddball kind of an album. You wouldn't consider anything off of this a radio hit or anywhere near a radio hit, but it was a central component of my life right along. But of course, that kind of it got amplified when Kiss became my favorite band. And again, the makeup, connection with superheroes, the music was wild and rocking, and I just loved the whole vibe. I never even considered that some people would consider this evil. This was not evil. I never seen anything bad and wrong with this. It was just an appreciation for the art form. It's not I didn't well, I kind of did as a little kid, until I got a little older and realized, they're not actual superheroes come to life. But when you're a little kid, just for a couple of just maybe a year or so, they were superheroes. And then, of course, I you learn reality. But also growing up in my youth, we've had this record. Oh, I forgot to grab a Cat Stevens Tea for the Tillerman. I should have showed that too. It was Tea for the Tillerman. This is well a little later in '77, but this was a monumental album growing up. We had in our household. And I'm talking stuff that we just had, not from the, not stuff we would listen to radio, but the actual physical, LPs, the vinyls that we had that you put on, you know, every little scratch because we scratched those things up. But as long as it kept on playing, we knew where the skips were. We knew where this, and then getting this on CD eventually, once CDs started coming around, and when I first heard these on CDs, it was like hearing it again for the first time because there's no pops and scratches and skips and all that like it was in the vinyl. Little kids in vinyl don't play well together. We didn't keep those LPs in good condition whatsoever. You know, but we played, but still we played the crap out of those. And then of course, eventually in the 80s when I got out of Kiss a little bit, I got into Metallica, a little heavier music, and this became my whole world for at least a good 7 years. Five, yeah, at least a good, yeah, I would say a good 7 years. No, more like 6 years. And more like 6 years, they were my favorite band. And of course, I'm not going to go too much into it, but Tool is my favorite band now. And because it's just the most all consuming, it's the band I relate to the most. Okay, just put it that way. It gives me goosebumps. Even still, I think about the first time I heard this, how much Lactoralis, how much I had goosebumps. And then hearing something like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, this became my second favorite album of all time from the instant I heard this the first time. Like, man. And when it comes to and again, when it comes to music, it doesn't matter what genre it is. It could be old 50s instrumental stuff, okay? It could be um experimental instrumental stuff like Battles here. It could be songs from the 50s, songs from the 60s, songs from even earlier than those. I like stuff from the 30s and 40s and so on, and not 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s to current, I'm all into different genres. I love music so much that even though I had the album, I had to get Michael Jackson Thriller again, 25th anniversary. That's how much I love music. And as while I'm at it, talking about awesome music, I just want to give a shout out to the Great Balancing Act and Jeep Jones of Great Balancing Act. This guy here with the glasses and the hat on right there. He did a song. He did. The Lonely Road lyrics by Larry Graves, and I'll leave a link to that video down in the comments below. Absolutely, because it the production, the creativity, the even the video is top notch. Is so great for what it is. It's amazing and awesome. Okay, it doesn't have to be the highest production of a video, but it's so effective and it illustrates exactly the sentiment in the song and their artistic integrity. I mean, I haven't heard. This is they're probably I consider their most polished and well produced song. All their songs are well. All the songs they did for Larry Graves is super well produced. This is super well produced. How much I love Planet of Song. This is a great album. Looking forward to their new album when that releases. Absolutely. I'll have to go to their release party when they do so, but I'm thoroughly impressed with them. I very am, which again, if you love music, go check out your local talent. Whoever, local band that hasn't really made it big yet, the speed, but they're good. They're being passed over because they're not connected the way they should be, but they're totally fabulous. And it well, yeah. When it comes to music, yeah, that's why when I do my live, I want to talk about music. I'll talk about other entertainment, but music is transformative. It's the thing I want to share with you guys the most. I don't want to make this too long of a video. I just what this video I'm hoping to express is that you see the enthusiasm in me when I want to talk about this subject, and how, like, yeah, music is awesome. I love all this stuff, and I just, again, just wanted to also highlight this. That's another purpose of the video, and to highlight the new song by the Great Balancing Act. That's the purpose of this video. It's all important. Go check out. I have a I have a list of stuff from the. I'm almost done here. I have a list of. I took notes for all this stuff from the last live that I had. I still need to check these out. I still want to check out the Pat Travers live. Go for what you know. Um, I still need to check out the trailers for Tom Hanks and the Lady Killers, Eyes of Laura Mars movie, and Sticks. The songs that You Need Love, Witch Wolf, and The Mission, because I had wrote those down. And again, that's just my love for music. All right, I am done before I start babbling. So I'm going to let you go here. If you haven't subscribed to me, please do, because I will greatly appreciate it and love it. Love you forever. Don't be afraid to hit that like button, of course. Leave me comments. I do my best to get to them. I love hearing from you. And as always, just please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. And hopefully, you'll be listening to some great music. Peace.